Raiders, that West division for them, it's still wide open at 5-5. They're still in the picture for sure.
Let's go take what we want today. Let's do take what we want. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey.
Drake picks up the pressure. All alone is Steve Jones. Carr looking left, throwing left, corner to the end zone. It is caught. They get down. 3rd and 6.
I'm getting flagged. Fuck. I guess the updated one's not on here. I thought that was the updated one. Anyways, let's just get the chat involved. Today we're gonna talk about the Raiders offense, the play calling, everything. We're just gonna go over it. Okay. Sorry about that. Guess I'm getting flagged for this video. Hello.
What's up?
It's kind of infuriating. I thought that was the updated one. So that's going to get me flagged on this video, but who gives a fuck at this point? Let's talk about the Raiders, man. So I know we did a video yesterday to talk about the Raiders being healthy. Anyone who isn't who hasn't checked out the video, go check it out. Live back with Noah here. If you want to shout yourself out, your IG or anything, you can.
Yeah, still the Press Raiders fan. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, same username.
Yep. So this Raiders offense under McDaniels, as we all know, will be. I think it's going to be like 3 times better than it was last year, especially with the run game, the passing game. Where with a run game, last year we were a zone run with Greg Olsen, and now we're going to be more of a run heavy, like towards the gaps kind of thing, based on getting the blockers downfield, other than what we were doing this past year where we just kind of kept them on the first level. To say I'm excited is far from the truth from what this is. I mean, this offense, I think the run game especially is not going to rank 27th in the league.
Right, have a team that's gonna have. Sorry about that. A game or like a offense that's gonna be primarily run focused and run heavy is gonna definitely contribute to a better offense production in the run game, and let alone the pass game, because we have the weapons that we haven't had in previous years. But
this is probably the best. This is probably the best offense that McDaniels has ever worked with on paper in terms of pure talent on the roster on offense right now.
It might be the best. It might be, but of course, on paper is a different story from on the field. It's going to be very hard to come up to that 2007 Patriots offense that he got so well known for, putting together after Mangini left New England. It's going to be very tough, but on paper, this is going to be one of the best offense, most all-rounded offenses that he's going to be, controlling.
The McDaniels offense, really having a run game. I think this is going to be the first year that he's not going to lean on the run game as much. Let me pull it up for everyone here, as I'm going to pull it up for myself too. But last year we ranked 27th in rushing, while the Patriots were top 7. They were number 7 in the league with 2,151 yards, and he had arguably a worse offense last year with the run game. So we'll see. But this year he has a better running back group than he did last year, which ranked 7th in the league, guys. I think this offense, the run game to me will land. Here's the biggest thing, though, with the run game. He had to lean on that a little more than what he's going to have to lean on it this year, and I think he's going to get more yards out of per carry. And it's going to really be – I would personally, if I were McDaniels, I would go 55-45 with the leaning more towards the passing game because you know you have weapons you can lean on. Maybe even 60-40, like I think that they will. But with him having a very good, run blocking group here, I think this team to me ranks in the top 15 for rushing attack. With the passing game, I mean, this is as easy as it gets. And here's the thing. He's going to change up how he attacks every team. But McDaniels and Carr were like literally made for each other with this. McDaniels' offense is going for shorter timed to keep the ball in his hands, shorter passes, but he has a lot of yak wide receivers that have speed and that can get down the field and have the yards at their catch. And this is the best offense that we could think of for Hunter Renfrow in the slot because this offense really is 4 slot receivers over the middle of the field, and he has great route running ability, so he'll be able to get open.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an offense, I think you just mentioned it, that it's going to have a good balance on both the run and pass game because of the weapons we both have in the receiving game with, Adams, Waller, Renfrow, even the depth guys that we just brought in, Keelan Cole, Tyron Johnson, Matt Collins even. All these guys are going to have a role to play in the passing game. And then, in the run game, you have, good, power backs like Zamir White and Josh Jacobs. And you also have receiving backs like Abdullah and, Kenyon Drake. Obviously, you're going to have one of these guys not make the roster, but, you're just excited to see how exactly this offense is going to mesh.
I'm going to bring this up too. People tell me we cannot have a top 5 offense, or that we're not going to have a top 5 offense. But to lean on this, right? McDaniels, in his time of being an offense coordinator, has produced 8 top 10 offenses. 3 number 1 offenses overall. And some of those offenses that he's had come nowhere near this offense. I mean, outside of the 2007, those other 2 offenses, they were good, but they being number 1, it was more of in a different time where now you're going to be able to at least, I would say, have at least a top 5 overall offense. Like, if you tell me we can't have top 5 offense overall, you're crazy. This guy is an offensive genius. And if you're telling me he can't make Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, and all this depth and Derek Carr, the thing that I like more about this is Josh McDaniels has an offense that was more deteriorated on having 2 specific guys. Carr is different than that. He can get the ball to anyone. And I've said this. Don't be surprised. I think if the Raiders were to walk out of this year with I'm going to predict 7 to 8 guys to have at least 200 receiving yards with Derek Carr. Because I think Derek Carr's ability to get the ball around, DJ Turner is going to succeed in this offense. Matt Collins is going to, if he gets his targets, he's going to hit the 200. You have 6 wide receivers that could possibly hit 200 if they all get those reps that you think that they will. Devontae, to me, hits about 1,350 for receiving. I want to say Renfrow hits 900 because this is an offense built around slot receivers or guys in the slot. And I think if Josh McDaniels really wants to give teams different looks, put Devontae Adams in the slot at times and put Renfrow on the outside because Renfrow can play on the outside. Devontae can play all over. You give people different looks every week. You attack teams differently, and you're going to succeed. I've said before, I think we can average over the course of this year, we're going to average over 30 because I think also I'll talk about the defense. I'm not going to talk about defense in this video. I was going to, but I'm going to decide away from that. But the ability that I do think that him having so many options and there are guys that are deep threats in this offense. Now, I think to say he puts up 30 a game is not crazy because if you look between last year's team and this year's team, last year we averaged about 23 points a game, right? for me to say us to average 7 more points a game is not crazy. Because here's the thing. We will look back on it. I looked at this. The defense was on the field more than the offense last year. I think that's going to change this year.
Yeah, you know what? That might be fair to say. We were playing a lot from behind.
And
last year. So the defense was definitely out
we
the
had
field more.
5 games last year where we put up less than 14 points. We also were bottom of the league in red zone efficiency because Josh McDaniels brings a more disciplined coaching style, a better red zone efficiency. So say you're turning those 3 points into 7 points, you're going to average more points. And if the defenses get stops, this is as far as I'm going to go with defense for today. If they can create the turnovers, I think that they can, and they give the offense shorter field position, because that's the one thing I talked about with Derek Carr. What has he not had that other elite quarterbacks had? They've had elite defenses that are going to give short field advantages for them. If Derek Carr gets that this year, watch out. This offense can put up 30 a game on the board. That's not crazy. If you're a top-tier red zone efficiency offense, this offense will at least get 4 touchdowns a game and maybe even a field goal. And don't be surprised by Daniel Carlson's numbers going down in terms of kicking long field goals, because he's not going to have to do that this year. Crazy. He had 2 games where he had 5+ kicks. I don't think he's going to have that this year. Like field goal attempts. Not extra points. But in terms of field goal opportunities, they're going to go down, because I think the offense is going to score more. They're going to put more on the board, and they're not going to be so reliant on 3 points in the red zone.
Right. With as you just mentioned, with the field goal kicking or the field goal attempts Carlson attempted last year, he attempted 43, made 40 of them. We had this pretty much a historically bad red zone offense for the 21st century. I think we converted on something like only 50% of our red zone opportunities into touchdowns, which is almost unacceptable. And it's barely, if you look at that statistic alone, it's a miracle we almost made the postseason.
It was
just by that. But you obviously had the morale, the momentum of the end season, and the offense clicking together, and the defense holding when they needed to hold, and then a favorable schedule at the end of the year. As for the offense, I think that McDaniels is poised to take control of maybe one of the best offenses in the league. As for Derek Carr is not Tom Brady. He's not going to do the thing as Tom Brady did. He's had the experience that he has, but he hasn't had the, success in the veteran leadership of other players that he basically came into. Brady started off his career more focused on being a field general, much like Carr. But as, Moss came into the Patriots organization and they found success in that, they eventually built off of that, talent. And we see a similar situation right here with Carr and Adams, if you want to look at it like that. I mean, obviously he had other weapons out there as well, like Deion Branch, Brady. I think they might have still had Corey Dillon in 2007. I cannot remember. But even in the following years that he won MVP, like in 2010, you had, Moss, Branch, Welker, Green Ellis.
If we think about it, really,
the potential is there to have a type of season like that. But again, you also look at the schedule and other variables, and it's still tough. I wouldn't put it past the team to say that it's out of reach, but it's definitely not for sure.
No, yeah, I agree. I did make a prediction. I'll talk about why I put that on the screen here in a moment for the Earhart Perkins. We already know. If you know why that's up on the board. That's the offense that McDaniels was running, but we'll talk about that in one moment. Derek Carr, I made a take. I said this man can hit 5,200 passing yards this year, because last year to this year, he has a ton of better players on his offense than he did last year. And with McDaniels having all this all these great offenses, I don't think as much as people are thinking, we're not going to be run. I mean, last year, if you think about it, he had – here's the thing I was going to say. Because we don't face the Bills in the Bills stadium. I can't remember their stadium name. I was going to say it, but whatever. Mac Jones attempted 2 passes and won a game. 2. Was it 2 or 3? I think it was 2. But Derek Carr is not going to have that type of game. So he's going to be throwing for more yards. And I went back on it. Derek Carr would have to average 305 yards a game passing to hit 5,200 yards. That's not crazy to say he does it because he had 285 a game last year with Zay Jones and Bryan Edwards being 2 of his top options. That's all you need to know. Now, the reason the Earhart Perkins is on the board is because that was McDaniel's offense that he was developed into having in New England with Bill Belichick and them. Do we see them having the same playbook kind of thing and scheme, or is it going to change with the Raiders offense?
You can't really say for sure, but I do think that there are going to be similarities in the playbook. I still think there's going to, like you said, like a 60-40 run split. You have Derek Carr, not Mac Jones, so he's not going to be afraid to air the ball out more. He's not going to be afraid to take leadership, stuff like that. There's going to be other possibilities of, what this playbook could do for this team. But I do think that, the playbook is indeed going to still have the similarities compared to what it was under Belichick and, the Bernhardt system.
Yeah. Here, one sec. Let me
Committing the Cardinals' sin of dead air. I love it. But, with the new system, at least, it's going to be, you hope that at least the blocking will hold up in the system. You had lots of reliable guards and tackles.
No, I'm 100%. Like I will say, though, I think that we're going to have, with McDaniels, I don't want to make it sound like Mac Jones is a terrible quarterback, but I feel like more that McDaniels was kind of limited. And it's not to disrespect Mac Jones. It's just he had a limit with his offense. I don't think there's a limit with our offense.
Right. The reason New England made the postseason last year was because they selected Mac Jones. I fully believe that if they had another QB there like Cam Newton, I think they would have been another sub 500 team. But Mac came into the league.
I think if they would have taken Mac, I will say this: if they had most of the rookies from this last year's class, I think they could have made them work. And the AFC to me was so weak last year in terms of not like this. Like this year is just. There's so much more talent. Let's be real.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think with McDaniels, we're going to air it out more with this offense. When you have Tyron Johnson who can run a 4.33. I don't know what DJ Turner's time is, but he's really fast. It looked like he had that breakaway speed. Mac Hollins is fast. Thank God we have all these speedsters. And I think we have more reliable targets than New England did last year. And we have a much, much better tight end at the helm. So having all this and having been said this, is it really crazy to say that Derek Carr hits 5,200 yards with this team? Hell no. Because if you're telling me all he has to do is hit 305 yards passing a game, that's not out of the realm. We're going into a more pass-heavy NFL. The whole NFL is changing. And I think McDaniel's versatility to put any of these receivers at any position, and you have Derek Carr, who is very accurate with the ball. He's a very good team leader, and he can get the ball to anyone, and he's very he can throw it anywhere. Like, really, I think he's got so many weapons now, and teams aren't going to know who to try to double team, because you can't really double team Devontae and be fine with a one-on-one across the middle with Darren Waller, or one-on-one with Hunter Renfrow, or one-on-one with Tyrone Johnson, because he can burn most of the corners. So this offense has really, to me, no limits. Hello, man.
What's up, man? What's up,
So-
Noah?
Man, y'all, bro, like, it's been a minute since we've been able to do a video. I know, kind of been busy, man. But, man, so I've had people asking me, how do I feel about this offense? And I don't know if either of you guys actually checked out my story, but I said Derek Carr can hit 50, 200 yards with this offense. And people are calling me crazy. I'm like, that's not crazy.
Hey, like I said, if you had just optioned out, if you would have optioned out Zay last year and replaced them with Devontae, he would have hit it.
He would have hit, like, I think 5,500 yards last year. So, and Earhart Perkins is the offense that scheme, right, that McDaniels had. And I was asking, I said, how much of a difference do you think this offense will be from last year's Patriots? And I said it's gonna be a little different, really, because he doesn't have its limits like he did last year with the Patriots.
Facts. And you got to remember the scheme that they ran last year is because they didn't have the receivers. They had tight ends and halfbacks. So you would have seen him more in the 2 wide receiver, 2 tight end deal. This year, he has way more weapons, dude. So you're probably not going to see him in that type of setup majority of the time.
Yeah. Again, I think having the wide receivers that we have, and I think DJ Turner makes this roster, and I think he really gets his reps at wide receiver on offense. I think he can.
Damn right. I said the minute we got DJ Turner a few years back, dude, that I wanted him on there, especially after the way he played last year. But the way he just played in that last game, I'm sure he's going to make this roster.
And that's why we chose him over Jesus criminy right now.
You saying Robinson?
Yeah, Robinson, Demarcus Robinson. That's why we chose him over Robinson, because he had a more, as far as I know, don't quote me on this, but he had a better training camp, and he performed well in the preseason. So he showed he can do it on the field, and I like him. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be returning kicks and punts. I think he will be, but there's so many options you can put back there, really. So we'll see who they really do, because I know you can put Darius Phillips back there too. You can put Tyron Johnson if you really wanted, but we'll see.
Phillips is a guy people are going to have to keep an eye on, because I said in the first game I give him hella credit. Like I said, I might have been eating my words on that guy, but this last game he went back right where he was the first time. So he's going to be a guy that most definitely keep an eye on because of the wishy-washiness in him.
And
like, you go look at Amir. Amir has probably solidified his spot already, because they all talking about him being in he's going to be the James White replacement type player, this, that, the other, don't play. Then you see the people that are playing and special teams players getting booted. So I think he's probably going to make that roster.
Amir Abdullah, I think, can be kind of like a Jalen Richard, a receiving back, really.
Facts.
And
Facts. That's why they were saying the James White role in Josh's system, because that's what James White was the receiving scat back out of the backfield.
I said I think there's going to be 8 guys on this offense that we have. I'm talking about 8 guys from running back, wide receiver, and tight end group that can hit 200-plus receiving yards with this offense, because Derek Carr has had this ability to get the ball. He scatters the ball around so much that you don't even know who he's going to go to on every play. He doesn't just have, with Aaron Rodgers, all credit, he was a good quarterback, but Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers are nowhere near alike when they have Devontae. Derek Carr has 5 to 6 other guys he can target. Aaron Rodgers only targeted Devontae. He targeted him 190 times last year. Devontae Adams is only going to hit 140 targets, I would say, probably. It'll be around there, give or take. he can
And
get
dude,
the ball.
and you saying that, you're thinking you got a halfback going to hit over that 200 mark for sure. Probably 2 of them, maybe 3 of them.
I mean, I could
Then you're
see.
looking at the wide receiver. There's not a wide receiver on that list right now that I don't see getting over that yardage mark either. Because those are all good receivers.
I was going to predict Jacobs and Amir to hit the 200 receiving yards plus. If they both get the targets, and then I mean with tight end, I would give Darren Waller, but I don't know if the other tight ends are going to be targeted. I don't know. We'll see how much he target. Who really gets the targets at tight end?
Yeah, that's why when they say 5,200 yards, I mean, I bet $1,000 he's going to hit the 5,200 yard mark. I mean, it's going to be physically impossible for him not to. Like I said, if we were just to take 1,200 yards and swap him out with Zay, he would have been over the mark to begin with. So that's all I say is, like, if you're telling me that he's going to have the receivers at his hand, the tight end, the halfbacks, and everything, and that he can exceed that, and he did it with the, where everybody says, oh, that line was so shitty, but he still threw for 4,800 yards, better than any line he's ever had in the Raiders.
I really think the Raiders found one of the biggest steals in this draft in Thayer Munford, bro. That man is a dog, bro. Don't be surprised. Hey, man. Don't be surprised if he starts at right tackle for us, man. The way he's been performing, I would not be against it.
Yeah, his stature, his arm placement, everything. Like I said, in 2019, he was projected first-round draft talent. He kind of screwed himself going back to college was the only thing.
Yeah, I'm happy he went back to college.
Dan, give me 1 second. I got to answer this call. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, he'll be back, I guess. Would you be surprised if he made starting right tackle for this year?
No, I wouldn't say I would necessarily be surprised. However, I do think that in all situations, Alex Leatherwood would probably get the shot at being a starter in right tackle in week 1 again, just to try and see if he, especially if he does well in the next 2 preseason games, holding up. I would be opposed
because I would say Munford has kind of outplayed him up to this point. He's only impressed more and more. And I will say this. If it comes down to it, I'm fine with Alex Leatherwood at right guard. If it gets him to start anywhere, put him at the right guard or left guard, whatever you feel like doing. I want to see Alex Leatherwood on that field enough to say he was worth that 17th overall pick. But if Munford's outplaying him at right tackle, his best shot at starting at this O-line would be probably right guard. And I'm fine with that. If that's what it is, fine. But Munford, to me, has become one of the biggest steals in this draft. He's made it a legit argument to be this team's right tackle for the future. He's only 22. He's young, and he's only going to get better from here on out with what's his name? Brasilio, I think is how I say it. But just having this good of an O-line coach to teach him to be better, I think it's amazing what we're going to be this year. The sky is the limit for us. I really believe that.
Right. If Leatherwood does perform better at right guard than he does at right tackle, then give the spot to Thayer Munford.
All I was saying was, if Munford's outplaying you at right tackle, his best shot would be to go outperform. Who is our right guard currently that's in competition?
Probably Lester Cotton.
I think Dylan Parham looks like he's going to be the left guard, but the right guard I think would probably be like Simpson, right? Simpson and him.
Lester Cotton.
Oh, yeah, Lester Cotton. If he outperforms Lester Cotton, I'd be very excited to see this O-line. Now, I would say this O-line looks much better than last year's. I think it's going to be a top – because we were 27th, I think, last year, 28th ranked O-line last year. I think this year we're going to have a top 25. I'll say even top 20 O-line. If we have a top 20 O-line, this offense is going to perform.
Right. Yeah, if we have a top 20 offensive line, we're easily going to, be able to put up numbers because, of how Carr's played, even with a less than average offensive line. For example, this past year, I think he had I think it was 13 or 14 on the offensive line ranking in terms of pressure allowed. And, somehow we got to the playoffs just like that. So, And now you have different targets that are going to be able to get separation in their own ways. You know, Devontae Adams, he's just going to be able to beat the guys off the edge. Even if they catch up, he's still got that ability to take a catch, go up with it. You know, Renfro with the route running.
I think
Waller's just too physical for most, cornerbacks, and he's too speedy for most linebackers. We've heard this story before about him. And then, you have the elusive backs in Kenyon Drake and then Josh Jacobs occasionally, as well as Amir Abdullah. You have all these guys that, are going to contribute one way or the other, or one way or another.
Yeah.
And the offense is going to put up, different results than if you gave the same situations to this offense of last year.
Yeah, no, I think this team – Dustin's back. What's up, Dustin? I know you're back. Sorry about that. There we go.
Sorry, I just got Garlic going on right now, so a lot of people are in the middle of doing shit.
But did you guys – I think we all saw this by now. I know I said I was going to skip away from defense, but Jordan Jenkins is now a Raider.
Yeah, they signed him yesterday after he tried out.
I'm happy they didn't let him go because now you got probably just – this –
Malcolm Koonce and Jenkins, dude, coming off that outside edge is going to get ruthless, bro. I'd prepare for that shit for damn sure.
You said what? I'm sorry?
Malcolm Koonce and Jenkins coming off that outside edge like that. That's going to be insane sitting on the side of Chandler and fucking Max, dude, in that fucking 3, 4, 5 man line down on there.
And then you put Bilo in the middle, bro.
Yeah. Dude, he was bitching fools yesterday, dude. He was fucking shrugging the shit out of people. He did come up in a face-off 2 times where he was pretty much stalemated. But for the most part, when he first came back, they were saying, like, hey, his legs are fresh. This dude is straight moving bodies right now.
Did y'all see this? I just saw this, actually. It looks like they're putting Andre James at tackle to see how he does over there now.
I saw that. And he
they've been moving him across there the whole time.
I think that
he did not. Yeah, Andre Jones.
There might be a chance
center or guard.
There might be a chance that because we all know Cameron Basilio or however if there are injuries, he wants to see how you do at other positions to see how versatile you really are on this old line. And I really think say that something happens at tackle and you need Andre James out there, you can plug and play Dylan Barham at center and then Lester Cotton at guard spot. You can do all types of things with this whole line. I love the old line. I think there's so much versatility with this whole line this year, man.
Yeah, and like you said earlier about Mungford, I wouldn't say that he can't win that job.
Yeah.
But this is the thing where I think people probably shouldn't get too twisted around. Illuminor is originally the right tackle position. He's not a left tackle. He playing the left tackle right now in preseason because they probably more want to see the solidified position between Leatherwood, Mungford, people like that. But I personally think that when they get down to probably this game and the next game, you'll probably see Illuminor switch back to the right because I believe he will be the right tackle. But if Mungford keeps playing the way he's playing, he can probably take that position from him. Yeah. I just say, Illuminor's played in Josh's system before. He's played with Cam and them, so they already know what he can do at the right tackle position. And I just say, he's holding it down on that left side pretty damn good. So don't be shocked if he gets moved back over there in the next game or two.
Yeah. So what's the word on Leatherwood? Is he just going after guard spot now, or?
I heard that what I heard is that they were going to play Colton Miller, left tackle, Leatherwood at the right or left guard, James at center, frickin' Cottonwood, and then Lester Cotton, and then Illuminor at the right tackle.
So
and
then
the guy that's on there is pretty good insight on that team. So, but that's what he's claiming is Alex Leatherwood is a better left guard than Simpson is.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt that. So then Dylan Parham's just gonna be the backup center and guard.
I've always said, after listening to Josh the other day, I don't think anybody knows what the line's going to be until we get to the first week or against the Patriots. Because you can think Parham came in that game and he played almost every single position across the board.
Yes, and people actually are very high on what he was. He looks like what because at one point I did talk about when we had Denzel Good coming back. I said, I would like to see this guy just be like the backup for every position. And I mean, Dylan Parham looks like the guy. He can do that kind of thing. He can play all over that whole line. He didn't look like he does not look like he's getting bitched by anyone. So it really looks like he could be a standout throughout this whole entire line.
Yeah, the only guy he's been bitched on was Max Crosby, and that was that day they all got into that fight, dude. So they couldn't stop Max, but outside of that, he's done pretty well in camp,
Okay, but that's Max Crosby, a top 3-4 edge in the league, and that man is a dog. And bro, I'm gonna try and keep away from defense as much, but let's go. I caught another live. Hey, yeah.
The thing is that I wouldn't be surprised if Alex Leatherwood gets shipped up out of here. I strongly believe that Josh and Zangler have the green lights move whoever the hell they want.
Yeah,
They moved Gillespie for fucking 2 years down the road, 7th round fucking pick. And they said that Zangler didn't want to hold on to a player that didn't have cultural needs or skill set needs that fit their deal, and he would rather move off a player and get draft cap, even if it's a few years down the road, than just lose the player.
And I know it was only a 7th, but Age Roy, it's on the screen, but we don't. That was the offense that he's always had with the Patriots. So I don't know if it's gonna be the same thing or not. But I was gonna talk about that. Tyree Gillespie. I mean, there's people that are saying that we didn't get much. I'm like, yeah, well, a 7th rounder, but we got a steal in the 7th with Thayer Moonford. So you never know what you're gonna get in the 7th round.
Facts.
And I think.
I mean, he was still projected 4th round in this draft, and we got him in the 7th. So still all the way. And I even said, if you watch this last game, his arm. This is where Alex Leatherwood fucks up. Alex Leatherwood keeps his arms down by his pants, and when a guy comes in, he doesn't punch the fucking guy. He tries to hug the guy. Go watch the way that Monkford stands. Monkford gets out. He gets vertical, and he's punching, pushing his hand up on the dude's shoulder pad to get him up off of him. He has way better form than Alex Leatherwood would ever even dream of.
I mean, Dustin, this guy locks horns with you. He will hold that side down. And Dylan Parham might become better than Alex Leatherwood is already. So we don't know what will happen.
And I'm not gonna lie, when Monkford went up against Crosby tried to do his famous trick where he gets the guy to the inside, pushes off of him on the out, and spins back. Yeah. And they said that when he tried that on Monkford, he got locked up. He just got locked up. He said he didn't get him off kilter or nothing, and he held him down. So I think, like you say, it's a back and forth with Max and Monkford for sure. And like I've said, just his build, his height, his stature, I believe he will hold that right side down. I strongly believe it.
If he starts, he has potential. He has potential to be a top tier right tackle in this league. What's the name of our scheme, etc. Or example? Jesus Christ.
He's probably going to run the air raid this year, like he did with Moss in 2007.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing about it: he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to limit his offense like he did with the Patriots, because he can just air that thing out. Because you have Devon. Fuck people.
Plus, like I said, this offense is one of the most loaded offenses Josh has ever had. Not only a halfback, tight end, and receiver. So you're loaded on all sets of the board. Where, if, like you said, if you go back to where they ran last year in New England, they didn't have the wide receiver core, so they were running mostly two wide receivers on 2 tight ends. Where this year they're going to be running like fucking, like I said, the spread offense might be out there on a few times. So.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, there's so many looks that we can give people. Josh Jacobs in an air raid, I love it.
Thanks.
Adroy, who's your college team? Is it? Because I know you're a Bronco fan, but who's your college team? Are you like an Alabama fan? Is that why you like it? Anyways, no, Josh. I mean, I think we can have a ton of guys this offense. I mean, this offense has no limits. Like last year, what did Mac Jones do in his offense? Wasn't it 4,600 yards or something? 4,400 yards? Oh, you're Jordan?
Jones? Did he say Max Jones had 4,600 yards last year?
No, I was asking how many yards did Mac Jones have? I was just throwing out a number. How many?
I don't know if he was anywhere even close to that number.
not even close to it. It was
Oh.
less than 4,000.
Oh, it was 39. Okay, about 3,800. Okay, I didn't realize. I thought he threw a little more yards. But okay, never mind. He did have that game where he threw only 2 passes. Never mind. Here's the thing. Oh, I mean, we'll see what Derek Carr does, but 5,200 yards. I would say about 32 touchdowns, 30 plus. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to see. Hard to say. Exactly.
He said Georgia, so he's got to be a fucking Zeus fan, man, big time.
Hey, Troy, you a big time Zeus fan too, or? Let's see. I don't know. You might be. Big time. Fuck. Where did my charger go? Damn it.
That's why I just think it's so hard to gauge how Josh is actually going to run his offense, because I've seen a lot of screenplays. I've seen a lot of spread offense. I've seen a lot of single and power. I mean, Josh, and again, you can't really take much from the preseason because you're just going to play football right now. That's all you're doing.
Adroit's ready for week 4. Because that's when we play the Broncos.
I mean, hell, make sure you go get your Walmart value brooms and bring them on. Let's go.
Do we know, is that the home game or is that the away game? I can't remember.
Home game.
It's the home game?
Yep.
Shit. Get the fuck off my screen. Damn. Okay. I mean, Adroit, you a big time Zamir White fan then? Just gotta ask that since you're a Georgia fan. But how good do you think this run game will be this year, guys? You think because I know they ranked 7th last year in rushing for total yards this year.
You can go first, Noah.
If their backs stay healthy and Jacobs actually rebounds, then in the top 10, you have enough weapons total. Like, you have other guys outside of Jacobs as well. Don't forget about that. If Zamir White does produce and he's not, going to be a healthy scratch, then yeah, you could definitely see this, team definitely get better on the run side.
I think top 5 all day long. You go from having frickin' Jalen Richard, frickin' Jacobs. I can't even. Oh, I guess the other dude was that dude that went to the Giants that came from the Broncos, which I would say was probably. Yeah, Booker was probably easily the best backup we had in that whole time. To the backs we have right now, like, holy fuck. I mean, you can go to Amir, great scat back outside, fast as shit, got elusiveness to him. Look at Walters. I mean, this guy got great vision. You have Zeus, you have Jacobs, you have Britton Browner. I mean, fuck, how can we not be? You have Jacob Johnson, Yak. I mean, we got way better backs this time than we've had since who even knows when. I can't even date back to when we probably had that. Maybe 2001 with Gardner, Wheatley, and Crockett. Like I said, I think we can be easily top 5 the way that Josh runs the ball.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a top 5 offense. I mean, it's not even crazy to say, but a lot of people are going to call me crazy. Top 5 offense is not crazy at all.
Well, don't be surprised if we don't have the best offense in this fucking league this year. And like I've said, you're going from people like Zay Jones, fucking broken, depleted wide receiver core, where Derek Carr had a broke line, 4,800 yards, still put up more yardage than any fucking team he's been on or been with player-wise. That's including the offense. And tell me that he's going to have a more solidified offensive role in the line, and then the receivers are every bit as good as further force.
I talked about that. This offense is made for slot wide receivers. I think he's going to put up 900 plus yards this year again. That's not.
Right.
I mean, man, like the offense, man. To have guys that you don't even know who are you going to double team? How are people going to stop this offense? Like last year where we were stopped. I think it was 5 games. I remember, right? Oh, okay. 1K. Hey, I'm not going to disagree. He could do that in this offense. Last year, man, we were the 6th ranked passing offense. I think we'll be I would say top 3 at least in passing. Like the weapons and just the ability, 17 game schedule. Yeah, I know. Yeah, 17. So, Adrian, if you're saying 1K for Renfro, and you probably already think 1K for Devontae, where does that leave Darren Waller for you then? I mean, I don't know.
Waller's going to have more yards than Renfro. Like, I'll say that right now. Waller's going to get attacked and used more than Renfro will. So if I'm going to be betting on any players like that, got those 1,000 yards. He got the 1,000 yards because everybody.
Hello?
He cut over you.
Uh-oh. Let me see.
Farmland connection be like.
You there?
My.
Oh.
Yeah, you hear me?
Oh, no, your screen was light. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, when I drive through that damn canyon, it does it every damn time, man. It sucks.
Yeah. No, but he said where would we rank this? Yeah, I can hear you. Where would we rank this old line? What was it last year? Like 20th, 25th? Something? It was really low. It was bad.
Wow.
Oh, no.
I don't think you can rank an offensive line until they play.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, we have to see what the O-line actually looks like this year and who plays and who starts and stuff. So, I mean, we'll be improved. We'll be improved from last year. I will say I think we definitely have a top 5 offense. That's not crazy to say at all. Like, he'll be back probably. He's back.
So you wanted to hear the offensive line rankings from last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were ranked number 28 by PFF grades. The only player above a PFF grade of 70 was Cole Miller, who had 84.2. Everyone else was average or way below average. That includes Brandon Parker, Leatherwood, and Simpson. So, yeah,
We'll see.
And Carr, hey, don't forget Carr still threw for 4,800 yards.
That is true.
He's going to throw for 5,200. That's as simple as I can put it.
I said it like this, and I said this in our last live. Derek Carr threw for 4,800 yards, and he broke the season record in the 16th game before the 17th game. He already had more yards than he's thrown in any deal being there. And he did that with a broken-ass offensive line. And then my other question is that do you believe that the Raiders have to go outside the organization to find that person to fit that line to fix it? I believe no. And I believe not only no do we not have to go out, but I believe the line will be even more intact. So if you're telling me that Derek Carr throws for 4,800 yards under this broken-ass offensive line everybody keeps claiming, but he's never even thrown for more than 4,400 yards with Hudson, Gabe, Osemele, and all of them, I mean, that's going to speak mass volumes on what Josh and his system does for Derek.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. I can't wait to see what this offense does. I don't think there's a way in the world that we don't put up a top 5 offense. Like, can anyone name me 5 offenses that are going to be better than the Raiders this year? What's up, Richard?
I always say I believe anything's possible in the NFL, but I believe that if Derek Carr keeps his wide receivers, I don't believe top 5. I believe top 1 through 3. Like, that's what I strongly believe, because if you can go show me a stronger receiving tight end halfback core in the NFL, I've always said you can match people to the Raiders team by 1 through 3, as in talking about 3 of the best players that are out there, as in you can say Devontae, Waller, Jacobs. But when you throw Renfro into the conversation as a fourth player, go show me anybody in the NFL that can match those 4 players in the NFL. They're not going to be able to. So at that point, then how can they say you can't have the best offense in the NFL?
Yeah, no, we have a great quarterback. He has great leadership. He's one of the clutchest quarterbacks in this league. Like, come on, man. Wait a minute. Let me read this off. There was a video I put up on my story. It was from Colin Cowherd. He said, so he has Derek Carr. He said Derek Carr is an elite quarterback, and this is some of the numbers. From the past 4 years, bro, stop, bro. The Vikings are not going to have a better offense than us. Derek Carr has the highest completion percentage of any starting quarterback in this league since 2018. He has the most sorry, what's that? Let me find the other one. He has
But the Vikings would kind of validate my exact point. If you're sitting there saying on 3, right? Because I know you're saying Thaleen, Jefferson, and Cook. Like I get that. Who's the 4th? Who's the Waller or who's the Renfro? Because you don't have that next player. So I'm not going to disagree with that. The Vikings can be a good team. But like I said, if you're putting 4 out there, the Vikings don't have that.
They don't have a better quarterback either. Derek Carr has the most game-winning or fourth quarter comebacks since 2014 with 24, more than Stafford. So he's very clutch. He is very clutch. He's probably the clutch. And then he was number 1 in wins as an underdog. So, man.
54% of his games were won as the underdog person. So 54% of the games he's come back and won like that were underdog scores to begin with.
Yeah, no. And Derek Carr had the most game-winning drives last year. So,
like I said, if we're in the Super Bowl and it's the 4th quarter, dude, with 2 minutes left and somebody goes down and scores a touchdown and you had to pick a quarterback in the whole entire NFL to come back and win that game for you, who you taking? You gonna go take Mahomes and Rodgers? I'm taking Derek motherfucking Carr. Like, mark that. Like, mark it.
Hey, man, he's statistically the clutchest quarterback in the league. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, Richard. Yep. We have the best 4 core in this league. Probably. We probably do, yeah. And then you look at this comment. I'm going to say no to the Vikings and Chiefs having a better offense, definitely. I don't think the Chiefs, as an overall offense, I don't think they'll rank higher than us.
There's no way.
I think that was more about the point of having
no way the Chiefs are even in that conversation.
What were you saying, though? I'm sorry?
I think that comment was in response to what offense has more of an all-around weapon focus on their team, like as you mentioned before, receiver, tight end, running back.
But okay, wait a minute. If we're going off that,
I don't even think he can put the Chiefs in that conversation. Who's the wide receiver that beats or is equal to Devontae?
No, wait, time out. We have better running backs, wide receivers, and we have
not the tight end. Travis Kelce.
No, I was going to say tight end, but never mind. But they don't have a better offense as a whole. No, I don't think. Oh yeah, Hardman's hurt. Is he out for the year?
No, he's just hurt. He came up limping in the practice, but he ain't out for the year. Okay. I would agree with the Chargers, 100%. Eckler, frickin' Keelan, and frickin' and Williams. But again, who's the 4th? Like, that's all I say is the better 4 core. The Raiders have it hands down across anybody in the NFL.
You can make a
three. We can talk about 10 teams, maybe 8 teams that are equal on 3. Nobody's going to argue that point.
No. With the Rams, no tight end and no running back that's better. So, I mean, if you're talking about big 4, you got to take them out too. They don't really have.
I mean, I would say that fucking Akers can be as good as Josh. I mean, I won't argue that point, but where's the tight end there? Frickin', that's the whole point is they're lacking always in one or the other position.
Yeah, the Rams are also having a running back come off the torn ACL, and he looked miserable in the playoffs. He was averaging 2.2 yards per carry in the playoffs on kind of a bigger carry rate than we would say. But Bengals, they're just lacking at tight end. If you're looking at the big four, you're just lacking at tight end. Bills, the running back position is very questionable there. You don't really know what's going on there. Tight end is okay. Actually, just found that out today. Apparently, Dawson Knox's brother died. Man, rest in peace. But if you're talking about the offenses, I don't think that I definitely see the Raiders having a top 5 offense easily. Now,
Well, this is the thing I'm going to say again here. Look at the fourth quarter comebacks Derek Carr's had and his whole career, leads the NFL, all that, with limp dick wide receivers. Like, that's the thing I think so crazy that you're over here having the conversation. Hey, listen, people, you guys can say, like, oh, Matthew Stafford, motherfucker had Calvin Johnson, man, fucking Ebron. He had freaking Jones. This guy had receivers, halfback, and tight ends. Like, it ain't like Matthew Stafford was over there playing with Derek Carr's receiving core and tight end core and halfback core that he's been playing with since he entered the league in 14.
Yeah.
He got them fourth quarter comeback with Calvin Johnson, but like, give Derek that guy and see how many he would add.
I saw this thing wrote this morning. It was Dawson Knox's younger brother from the Bills. His brother died today, so I don't know what happened. I didn't see the article, but it just said that he died this morning. So, but I mean, hey man, we'll see what happens. The season starts in under 3 weeks, I think.
I think it's like 22 days.
It is Thursday, so yeah, 3 weeks from now.
Deshaun Watson's been suspended 11 games.
11 games, fined $5 million.
Yep. The Browns season's over. The Browns
Hey, I said, wouldn't this just be full circle if Jimmy ends up over there with Cleveland, because him and Brissett were together over there in New England. So that'd just be crazy.
I mean, but then they would have to pay him. Well, what's his contract? His contract's wild, bro. But
I think his is only 19. His is either 20 million or 30 million. It's either 19.9 or it's 29.9.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the cap hit, but yeah, it's his salary this season is supposed to be something like $30 million.
Maybe they come up on a clause that says they don't have to pay
I think it's 20, because if I was sitting there thinking right, I said, why wouldn't you just keep him for him and Lance for 30 million? I say, shit, you're paying other quarterbacks 30-40 million right now. And if I might be right, it might have been the 20 million and 10 million. So I would have kept them. But like Noah was just gonna say is that the team will eat a cap hit if they trade him for sure.
Mm-hmm. Did they actually trade him? I just heard you say that they might have traded him. Did they trade him?
I think what I think would be smart, if any team can do this, why not just hold out till the first week of the season when they have to cut him? Like, that's what I would do. I would just wait it out till the first game of the season, let them cut him, and then go after him. Like, that's what I would do. But I guess the trade part would make sense in the fact that of what I just said. If you cut them, then you're going to have like 5 other teams instant bidding. Where if you trade, you get them, so
right.
That would just be crazy. Like, I think we'd have to go look up this, but I think it'd probably be the craziest thing that's ever happened in NFL history, that you sign a quarterback for $230 million and you have to sit him. Then and with all the trade, all the draft, and the money, then you go get Brissett, but I think they got him in free agency. But then you got to turn around and trade for Jimmy Garoppolo again. Like, where the hell are you coming up with all that money? Because unless that contract says on Deshaun's side, I'm pretty sure Deshaun's going to get paid. Like, unless there's something in the contract that says if you are suspended from the league for this time or under his deal, then they won't pay him.
It was 230. It's like 230 million guarantees, no matter what.
That's my point. So you're paying him, and then you get Jimmy for like 15 million. Like,
yeah, I don't think a majority of that contract with Watson can be voided anymore. After I think there was a deadline back in the spring.
Dude, didn't you hear that Texan guy, the GM at the Texans, when they asked him with all the stuff that's going on with Deshaun Watson, this, that, and the other, they said, could they void the contract, this and that? And he said, oh, hell no. He said, unless there's something in this contract that I don't know, or he goes to Roger Goodell and pulls something, he's like, that deal is done. Like, he is like, it ain't coming back, and we're not giving back, you know? So,
Yeah. But man, just to let everyone know, while we have people here, I will be live for most games. If I do decide not to go to the games and stuff, I will be live here for the Raiders weekly games. Man, I can't wait for week 1, bro. If we beat the Chargers, bro. Matt, I actually like that. The week 1 game that they gave us against the Chargers, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Wish it was a primetime matchup though.
I do too. Dustin, you go into that game?
what one?
The week 1 against the Chargers.
Yep.
Man, you're gonna be talking that shit, aren't you?
Damn right, every time. That's where I'm from, Riverside, California. So damn right.
Man,
Like I say,
Hey,
man, they may
if
bring
they
another
don't-
team
hey,
to that
if they
stadium,
don't-
but it's Raiders,
hey.
baby.
if they don't cancel the game to the lightning outside.
Hmm.
Hey man,
The actual truth.
drop the link week 1. I don't even have it ready yet, bro. I can't drop the link if I don't have that shit ready. Anyways,
Drop the
man,
link. I mean, come on, dude. We still got the Dolphins, Patriots, and then week 1.
and I gotta wait, man. I'm not even gonna do anything for the next 2 preseason games. I mean, I'll probably do a video after week 4 to discuss the 53-man roster that we have by then. But
That's what I was thinking about doing was wait till after this next game and predicting the 53-man roster
I'm
with
just saying,
everybody.
let us join. I'm pretty sure Dustin won't be here. I mean, Noah might be here for the live reaction as I'm going talking about the game.
He said, I'm saying let us join. He wants to join.
Yeah, right now.
yeah.
Links in the chat.
Adroit
Giants are trying to see if they can fix. Man, why are they still
Don't get
trying?
me wrong, man. He played good with Dabo, so I'm not even argue that shit, man.
We'll see what
What is
happens.
it? Dabo? Is it Dabo? Is how you say it?
Yeah.
Or?
Brian
So,
Daboll.
Brian
that
Daboll.
guy might be a true quarterback whisperer. I ain't even gonna lie. I know it's preseason, so I'm not gonna try to say much, but
No. I need to see
man,
him in the
Daniel
Raiders.
Jones played way better with him than Jason Garrett's sorry ass.
Well,
Like,
Jason Garrett.
Think about it like
Yeah.
this: if he got,
Where's
if he
Jason
got
Garrett
Josh
now?
Allen, hang on. Oh, he's a freaking ESPN analyst or whatever,
yeah,
something like that, an analyst for NBC, something like that. But yeah,
I think he's the
Dable, if he could make Josh Allen with that freaking talent, he tapped that shit, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, if not the best. Josh Allen.
Not D, bro.
What he was missing was that that accuracy in his first 2 seasons, and in 2019 when
Hey,
or
I'll say
2020
this,
when
man.
he goes
Kenny
into
Galladay
playoffs.
still looks like some shit, bro. He's not worth that contract that was given to him.
No, you're right, Noah.
You saw the highlights of Galladay just trying his heart out at the fucking training camp with the fucking receiver drills.
Bro, this man ran his route so slow and so honest,
Carelessly, like he
this
couldn't
man,
give two shits.
bro, he reached out for a ball like this.
I bet he wants to be back in
Fuck out of
Detroit
here
right
with
now.
that, man. If he was a Raider, bro, I'd be calling for his head right now, bro. Thank
Yeah,
God
just
we
like
never
the Giants
signed
fans
Nick.
are right now.
Nick Wright does not deserve to be I'm not even gonna get on that guy's ass. But hey,
Yeah, 'cause
man,
I think Jason Garrett is the commentator for the games now.
hey,
I think
man,
he was the one that took
people
over.
like this,
Didn't he
man,
take over
people who
Deion
tell
Sanders
me-
or not Deion Sanders, but what's his name that got dropped from there? Fucking was it Irvin? Michael Irvin?
maybe.
Somebody got dropped there,
But
but he
I will
got it.
say,
Wait, from Fox?
anyone who does not
Yeah,
think
somebody that was a main analyst got dropped, and he took that spot if I remember right.
yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, we're gonna head out. I'll be doing another video at some point. Maybe just do a last week Raider report with these two. We'll see what we can get planned out. Nick Wright is so biased. I don't even know who his favorite teams are. I'm not gonna give a fuck about him. I don't watch his tape either. He's fucking retarded. But yeah, we're gonna head into week 1. I'll be live for the game. If anyone wants to come through, I'll have the chat open, and I will see you guys then. Man.